How do you go from swiping to smooching? That's what we're going to talk about today. Let's get into it. So you both swiped right and got a match. You traded a few messages and you like the way this is going. What's the next step? Somebody's got to ask, do you want to take this offline? You guys been flirting back and forth all this time, and now you want to see what this really is. Here's my method. I tell my people go deep and then go shallow. Go deep and then go shallow. But always be flirting. ABF. You can ask questions like, what do you love to have for lunch? Make it a little flirtatious. Slowly tell them how you make your sandwich. I get out my favorite sesame seed bun. I love to get the meat out. I get the cheese. I get the lettuce. I cover my buns with mayo. I'm telling you, anything could be flirtatious. All right, so next, let's talk about going deep. You can ask something like, what was it like growing up in your household? I love the question of, what's your birth order? Your birth order actually says a lot about you. Oh, you were the youngest? Are you still spoiled? Do you still always like to get your way? Now, these conversations should be had by telephone or even by FaceTime. I suggest FaceTime first. I tell all my clients, don't go out with anybody until you've seen them on screen first. This is how you save your time and your money and all of that. After a few exchanges offline, it's time to ask, when are we going to meet? Fellas, I like for you to be the ones who set that up. Ladies, you should also drop the hint of, we should meet sometime, and let him take it from there. Right here is where you save time. If you say, we should meet sometime, and he doesn't say, yeah, that's a great idea. What are you doing on Friday night? Then this is probably a sign that this isn't going anywhere. Trust me, if a man wants you, he wants you, and he wants to see you as soon as possible. If he doesn't, that's a red flag. So let's suppose he asked you on the date. Let's say it's Monday and the date is on Friday. Fellas, you should always be flirting. ABF. You don't make the date on Monday and not talk to her again, expecting her to show up on Friday. It just doesn't work that way. A lot of these women have forgotten you by Friday. So I'll make it easy for you. When Tuesday comes, send her a text message. Let her know, hey, I found this Mexican place. It's really cool. The music, the vibe, everything is there. Free parking. I think we should meet there. What do you think? She's either going to say yes or no. And ladies, let him make the decision. Don't jump in and say, oh no, I'd rather go to Ruth Chris. If he doesn't suggest it, you don't suggest it. If you do have a food allergy, do let him know that. On Wednesday, you can either send her an audio message or a video message telling her you can't wait to see her. You can even tell her what to wear. Not something real specific, but more like how to dress. Sometimes women drive themselves nuts trying to figure out what to wear. So make it easy for her. Tell her what to wear. Casual, dressy, sneakers, outdoor wear, whatever. You can also tell her what you're going to wear. Thursday comes. You send her a message telling her you can't wait to see her. Here's where you're going to meet her, what time you're going to meet her, where she should park, and get clear on her transportation. When Friday comes, send her a voice memo. Tell her, I've got something for you. I'm bringing you a gift. I don't know any women who don't like gifts. Doesn't have to be big and extravagant, but you don't walk up to a woman for the first time with nothing in your hand. Maybe I'll cover this on a whole different video, what to bring a woman on the first date. Now, I've seen some guys do this really well. They might show up to the restaurant maybe 30 minutes earlier than the meeting time. Talk to the waiting staff. Put a little something in their hands. Tell them to look out for you guys and make sure your time with her is extra special. You come into this nice restaurant and they call you by name. That'll be pretty impressive to her. So you meet at the restaurant. You see her come in. You give her a hug. You got to break the touch barrier right away. Let's say you're outside right? And you have to walk to the restaurant. You put her on the inside of the sidewalk and you offer her your arm. And if you want to get slick with it, you offer her your hand, because now you're leading her to the restaurant. Boom, you get there, you open the door, you put that hand in the lower part of her back, guiding her through. You tell her where to sit. Sit right here. You sit with your eyes facing the door. Let her sit with her back to the door, because you need to see what's going on if anything ever breaks out. Now, this is where you go deep and you let her feel your energy. Have conversations with her and look right into her eyes as she's speaking. Your job, fellas, is to make her feel like there's nobody else in the room except you and her. She should feel like you two are in a bubble, your own bubble, and there's no one else on earth present except you. All right, so this was for the guys. Be willing to share some relevant stories. It shows that you're vulnerable, maybe even that you don't take yourself too seriously. Make sure they're not too controversial. Don't talk about politics or religion or any of that. But it is okay for you to be a little vulnerable. Ladies, you can do the same. So here's some game for the ladies. If the man is expected to do the paying for the date, and I do expect the man to do the paying for the date, you should take care of the table. I like for my female clients to direct the waiter or the waitress as to how to manage this table. If you'd like some more water, you make sure his glass stays full. Whatever he's drinking, make sure he's got enough of it. Maybe make sure he's got enough food. If the plates start to pile up on the table, say, ma'am, could you get these plates, please? It's your job to manage the comfort of the date. He's going to manage the finance part, but don't sit there just looking pretty and useless. Make sure he's full and comfortable and that he's having a good time with you. While we're at it, let's throw in a couple of don'ts. Ladies, don't order multiple meals for you and your cousin. No man wants to feel like you're only out on a date because you're hungry and you don't want to cook today. Nobody wants to be your come up. Here's another one for the lady. Put your phone away. Yes, I know you might like to get some content from this beautiful restaurant, and there's a time for it. As a matter of fact, ask him when that time is. You can let him know, hey, I'd love to take some pictures and show some of my friends what I'm doing, but I don't want to disrespect you or this time that we have together. When do you think would be a good time to take some pictures? That will make him feel respected. If he says no pictures, no pictures. If he says no video for your Snapchat and all of that, put your phone away. Ladies, one of the things that men often talk about in our private circle is when a man is considering taking you out and being with you, even for the long term, he wants to know, how agreeable are you? Are you difficult? Do you always have to have it your way? Can you follow his lead without a lot of explanation and conversation? So you've had your conversation, you've had some shallow, you've had some deep. Now just make sure you're having some fun. Sometimes guys can struggle with this. So this is what I'll say. Just make sure you are engaging her physically, respectfully. A woman can feel if you like her or not. If you act like you're scared to touch her, scared to be close to her, she could leave the date wondering if you even like her. To me, guys, a woman should never leave a date wondering if you like her. She should know. So all throughout the date, you've been respectfully, physically engaging and laughing and having a great time. It just makes sense for you to go for the kiss. And guys, go in slowly. Don't rush in like you're in a hurry. Act like you've been there before. If a woman likes you, she can't wait to kiss you. But she can't make it her idea. It's gotta be yours. I might make a whole video on how to kiss a woman for the first time. But depending on your comfort level, you can ask, can I kiss you? Or you can tell her, I want to kiss you. Then kiss her. Hit follow for more. Drop your comment below.